Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about transit Saturn Sextile or trine one's natal sun. Now, this transit may manifest in the career, hard work, the father, responsibilities, and discipline, being in harmony with your life and your actions, and I'm going to elaborate and expound on that. This is a time where, as far as your life goes, you may feel more like doing things that are career related. You're willing to integrate it more into your life, even if it means bringing your work connected with your business home with you. Um, Hard work can be incorporated in your life a lot easier, I would say, at this time more so than it ordinarily would if you have your natal sun in the zodiac sign Cancer, like me. Could be a life that's very introverted and dominated by the home, and not so much family with me because I don't have much family, but that's another story. But the thing is, this is a time when you have this transit. It's also about having disciplined actions, really not acting too hastily, making sure your actions are you know are going to result more. I'd say it's something productive. Um, this is a time as well where you are likely more to have the energy and vitality for laborious work at this time, more so than usual. The sun has a connection with energy and vitality. Saturn, of course, is connected with hard, laborious work. If you're transit, the Saturn, it's in Aquarius, say it could be some working with astronomy or astrology, doing could be humanitarian endeavors as some examples. Transit Saturn is in Capricorn. Could be doing something with architecture or construction. Uh, it might be a time too when you have this transit. This is where you have hard work is what you have more drive and motivation for. It might be something where it simply just makes you feel better to accomplish something, to be able to do something as a result of hard labor when you have this transit. And it's also a time too that father, older people, and authority figures, may be in more approval of your actions at this time and of your life. Going back to the natal sun in Aquarius. Well, I said Saturn in Aquarius before. Using Aquarius as an example again, it could be a life of altruism and humanitarianism, one in which you want to innovate and do things that could be for more the collective good of others. Some things that are environmental, as some examples. And this is a time as well, I would say it could be very auspicious for concentration because Saturn is connected with concentration and the Sun is associated with focus and attention. So which is really, I mean, it's very similar. This is very, the energy is very comparable, and you have a good aspect and relationship between the transit of Saturn to the natal Sun at this time. And it's also a time where you could concentrate more on things that drive and motivate you, and on things that are, I mean, it's also about having, the inner sun is about, it can, again, has a connection with the energy and vitality. The Saturn is associated with responsibilities. This is something where you can, responsibilities that you're taking care of is something that you more likely have the drive, the motivation, the focus on at this time, being able, having the energy and vitality, and to do at this time more so than usual. If the transit Saturn, say, is in Pisces, it could be responsibility toward the less fortunate, which can include the oppressed, the homeless, the hungry, the impoverished, as some examples. And it's also a time to where it's a positive, I would say, transit aspect for taking responsibility for the physical body. And if there's anything that is going on physically that you procrastinated on, or there's been hesitation, you haven't done anything about, and you feel there is some situation, physical related issue, This is more of the time where you're willing to take more responsibility for going step by step process, doing what needs to be done to get it taken care of. And anatomically speaking, the sun is associated with the heart, the spine, and the upper back, and it's the left or right eye depending on gender. So this is a time also too where you could concentrate on these issues more. If you have any of these issues that I described that are anatomically connected with the sun, this is a time where you may have greater concentration and a little diversion or distraction in trying to do something about those issues at this time, more so than you ordinarily would. And it's also a time as well when you have this transit. It's also, I would say, favorable and propitious for doing hard work with dominant males in your life, whether it's the biological father or could be an authority figure. This is the time where you would likely have more of that ability to do so, to be able to concentrate on. There's there's activities with these people that you're going to do as well. This could be a time where you could concentrate on them more. Remember, the sun, Saturn again is about concentration, and the sun is associated with focus and attention. Again, it's a time where it's a very positive transit, I would say, for being able to focus and concentrate on whatever it is that you're trying to do. It's a really very positive aspect as far as that goes at this time. And also, as far as children goes, it's also a time where you can take your responsibilities that are associated with them. This is the time where you're likely able to take care of them and accomplish what it is that needs to be done with children, if you have any, as far as responsibilities may go at this time. And if there's something, whether it could be health related or whatever it might be, or just getting them, it could simply be driving them to school, whatever those responsibilities may be, this is the time where you have more the ability to do it. And because it's a flowing aspect, again, a little having little delay or distraction or diversion in doing so. And it's also a time to focus and concentrate on what you want to do when you want to, as far as shining in things. I mean, the sun is about, where we want to be in the spotlight, where we want to, stand out. If the natal sun is in Sagittarius, say, it could be doing something with sports or publishing or advertising, maybe even printing press operation in some remote cases. But it's something Sagittarius related. If you have the natal sun in Capricorn, say, it could be something on a business level or a career, or more specifically, it could be doing something with dentistry or accounting, or something with politics or the government, as some other examples. And it's also a time too where the sun is about domination, so it can be a time where not in a negative way, but where you have the career is something where you just not want to shine in, but you want to really dominate. You want to be somebody, at this time, I would say more so than usual, that you could really stand out in. I mean, or whatever it is you might be doing that you want to dominate in. Again, going back to the natal sun in Sagittarius as an example, it could be sports or athletics, or just or again, having the career, and career being associated with Saturn and the sun being connected with domination. This could be a time where you want to be that dominant person in the career, and you can do so. Um, and as far as your place of business, you could maybe be able to shine and stand out, but do so in a way where people aren't being taken aback by this. And it can be where another way that this transit could manifest too. It's also about a time where the sun is about consciousness and being cognizant. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, now, again, the sun is about consciousness, so it's a time where um, you may be, at this time, as far as your career goes, being very aware, being cognizant of what it's about, what you need to do, and responsibilities as well, having more awareness with this, and understanding that the career and hard work are more tied in with what you want at this time, more so than usual. And this is also a time too. I mean, this is also a transit where you could also be where the father, authority figures, older people may feel more compatible with your basic character, which is the sun sign. In most cases, you're going to have a different ascendant in the sun sign. Sun being the basic character. Now, in some cases, like 1 and 12, roughly you're going to have the same ascendant as your sun sign, where the basic character and the ascendant are one and the same, and that's different. But in most cases, the sun will be distinct from the ascendant, and the sun being connected with the basic character, it's a time where you can have again, the older people, the father, dominant, I should say, authority figures may feel more compatible with your basic character at this time, more so than usual. And it's again a time where you can really concentrate and focus on whatever it is you're doing at this time, more so than usual. It's also another way this transit may be expressed. It could be about responsibility, which is Saturn, for things that you can focus, and which is the sun on. If this transit Saturn is in Aries, as an example, it could be welding. It could be doing something where you may have to confront somebody over a matter. It could be something with firefighting or carpentry, as some examples. And another way this transit could be expressed, it could be where the father, which is Saturn, could be more, again, reiterating what I said before, could be more in harmony and agreement, more compatible with your basic character, which is the sun. Now, if the natal sun is in Virgo, as an example, you could be a basic character that's very analytical, proper, scrupulous, reticent, humble, punctual, as some examples. And another way this transit could manifest, it could be where it's auspicious for planned and premeditated, which is Saturn, the actions, which is the sun. Now, let's say, for example, if the sun is in Scorpio, it could be, those actions can be associated with investigation or insurance or waste, or doing something with forensics. Even in some isolated cases, it could be a time too where it's propitious for laborious work, which is Saturn, with the biological father and children, if applicable, which is the sun. If the natal sun is in Sagittarius, it could be somebody that the biological father or children may be a Sagittarius sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embody those characteristics. And it's also a time where it could be very positive for concentration, which is Saturn, on what you want, which is the sun. If the natal sun is in Aquarius, say, it could be doing things connected with innovation, computers, astrology, or astronomy, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.